Okay, guys, I guess we're online. This is Steve, Wolfpack. Um, I'm here live again. I'm trying, and I am following. I just got the news. I'm kind of out of the loop here a little bit because I was doing some other stuff on the internet. But it seems that there is another attack in Manila. The word that I'm getting out right now is that it is possibly Muslim related. I'm not going to go ahead and say that it is because I get in trouble whenever I make predictions. However, the fact is that if the shoe fits, wear it. I mean, we've got another terrorist attack, another attack. Okay, I'm assuming it's a terrorist, but anyway, we got gunshots fired. So what we got so far, let me update you. And I want to, first of all, I want to throw a shout out there to Texas News Studio. Please go there. It's Texas News Studio. They're new and they are live right now covering this. I'm getting a lot of good sources, good information from there. I also get some thoughts and things to speak about from the guys in their chat room. So I can kind of address them here and kind of report out. And they're a great source. I love going there. I like to say I got friends in there, but I want to put a shout out to Sarah. She's been awesome. She only boots me now once a week. But see, I deserve it. It's not that I deserve it because I deserve to be put in their corner. Ask any woman, they'll tell you. So here we go. If I take a break here, I'm sipping tea. I ain't getting drunk. Um, says that let's see, yeah, I'm getting most of my news here from Twitter right now. And I am going to be searching other of my sources as well. However, it's the Philippines, and guess what? Um, it's just like yesterday in Kabul. Information is sketchy at best at first here. I'm reporting right now. What I'm seeing is 2 minutes ago, or 3 minutes ago, that they've got suspects with long guns. Long guns refers to automatic weapons. If it was not, if it was a shotgun, they would say shotgun, but a long gun determines an attack weapon. And they've got black hoods and they stormed the hotel. So I'm not sure right now if what the situation is as far as the cops for those individuals. I'm not sure. They haven't said. However, there are injuries that I can report. I don't know the number on that as yet, but some of the images that I'm seeing that's coming across, they are taking out some of the injured as we speak. Like I said, the other additional information that I've got on here is that there was bombs exploding. The exact number, I don't know. It doesn't say. I don't think anybody's reporting on that. Most individuals are reporting gunfire, and we don't have a lot of information on the explosions. Um, but I'm kind of with everybody else on on the guess who it is. I don't want to speculate, but then once again, you know what? I declared war on these guys yesterday. If I don't care, if it's a Muslim, I don't know what else to say, guys. I mean, I don't know. I had a rant yesterday that I went off on, warning people and trying to get people to understand. And all this, including today, is just telling us that it's not going away. Ramadan is actually here, and they're actually making do on their process. ISIS, they have claimed responsibility. They finally came out, and this is as of 5 minutes ago. ISIS they have claimed responsibility. Um, right now, they've got 10. They're reporting 10 people that are suffering gunshot wounds. How serious? They're not disclosing. They're not letting us know. However, my intel on this, when I'm looking at and I do this when I do when I do this, please bear with me because I was in the military and I was in Afghanistan and I got used to studying what bombs do after going to so many scenes. So I'll give you what I know and what I think is happening, is going on, just based on my experience. Trust me, I know there's more experts out there, and I don't claim to be an expert. I just claim to say I've seen this before. Um, Apparently, this was some kind of entertainment resort, and then they were armed police were deployed. And then there are reported smokes that would, i.e., that would pertain to bombs going off. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out, does it? So we've got an active situation going on right now in Manila. I will try to keep everybody up to date, giving them the news as I know it, but then people that are coming in to give them an update so they can catch up. I know it's hard when you hear something going on and you don't know where you're at, you don't know what's going on because you don't know if you're end of it, beginning or whatever. You just really want to know what's going on. So I will repeat that information as it comes in. And like I said, Main Street Media at this particular time have mentioned it on a blurb, like they always do, and then I bet you within 15 minutes they'll be back to trying to tell you when Trump farted. I mean, that's just the way they work right now nowadays. So the information that we're gathering here is on social media, and the issue is we need to rely on social media to get the word out to individuals. So they can keep up with what's going on for the individuals that want to. Now, I'm going to be posting some of the website. I'm trying to get my, trust me, I'm trying to get my act together. But like I said, I don't really get in a hurry because I like to confirm all the information that I get from the sources that I get, and I try to get as much information from different sources that I know that I can confirm them from, and that is one of the places where I go to get updated. Is there's no that there you can get a lot of information, but you need to verify it, and I try to do my best to verify it. So once again, we're going to get back on the story. I know everybody's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" I know. See, I can say hell, and and Sarah can't get me. But anyway, let me see some of the comments that are going on in Texas News Studio here, and I've got some people here that I really trust or whatever, and Susan being one of them. Yeah, and then Cece, I don't know. I think she's got a crush on me. Miss Gina, I tell you this right now, me and her be playing footsie somewhere if we were in a bunker somewhere. But and Sarah, Kirsten, and some of the other mods that are in there. Be patient with the mods because the fact is that they are trying to keep it clean. So let's try to keep it clean when you're in there. If you have questions that are kind of offline, you can direct those to me, and I'll try to get those out to you as well. Now, as far as we go right now, we're going to go back. Let's get some updates on our situation at hand here. And this, like I said, this is all incoming. They do not have, it's just trickling out. And you can imagine if you've seen some instances here, for instance, something happens here, you know, we get misinformation from the get-go all the way through. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to get the up-to-date info as it is coming into us by reliable sources, and then we'll see where we go from there. Fox News is actually on it right now. They're actually saying that that there is gunfire and outside, nothing new that we don't know. But if you look at the time when this was first reported and the time that Fox News got it, it falls in that window to 45 minutes to a delay. Why? I don't know. That's a good question. We need to ask each other. But apparently, like I said yesterday, apparently there is some kind of gag order on YouTube that they can't go out and report. At first, they have to they have to wait for the report to come out. And like I've said, you know, why are they waiting? Well, first of all, it's for ratings. The next is because are they not being censored? My argument would be yes, they are. censoring, because the fact is, the way the American government feels is that they say, and they have this is quoted, American government says that um, we are not able to handle the truth or handle something like this, or multitudes of situations like this. We've got multiple accounts of explosions here. We've got the resort that it happened to. Somebody work with me here and help me. The resort, I don't know if I've caught the name. However, this is the resort, the complex of the resort. Maybe I can find the name. Is actually on a lockdown, which, yeah, no screaming eagles, So individuals are reacting to resort in is what it looks like, from the air, well, from this particular place, or this resort. There is wounded that are on the ground. At this point in time, people are actually just exiting the building. There is a crowd gathered around. I would assume that these are the damn looky-loos, and the ones with the cameras and the videos and everything, trying to get famous on the YouTube. But like I said, you're creating another target by you just standing around. At this point in time, there has been an attack. I don't know why you would want to sit around. I mean, heck, me and my wife, something like this happens, we book it home, and then we book it to get to the house, and then we watch it on TV, or I can get social media or wherever. For those of you listening first time, I do have a talk, which is my tactical operations center. I have a whiteboard, I have ham radio, I have scanners, I have a lot of information coming in from a lot of different places, and I like I said, I'm not the best at it, but I try to get the confirmed information out. What I'm getting, okay, somebody confirmed for me, the resort looks like, or resort world, I don't know, it looks like Resort World, okay, is where this it's Manila, where this attack happened. We're actually seeing the facade, the face of the building as it looked before. So apparently this video was taken a while back. Like I said, ISIS is claiming responsibility. Now here is some information that they're just now getting out, and they have actually right now, and it is what is it, 15:45, right? I'm not 15:45, hell, 13:45 here Central Time, and they have, as of 2:30 their time, they have actually locked down the Manila airport. So if you know anyone in Manila that are going to the airport or flying out of Manila, you're going to expect a delay. It doesn't say the reason why it's locked down. I would assume so. The Hodge can't get on an airplane and get out of there. Witnesses are reporting that we got men. Okay, it doesn't say how many men, but they have black hoods on, and they stormed the resort with long. And apparently, right now we're getting the words in, and it is confirmed that there have been explosions that go off as well. How bad it is, we don't know. But the resorts, it's Resorts World Manila. Okay, let's confirm that right there. That's mine. The international airport is actually, when you look at it on the map that I'm doing right now, the Manila airport is right really close to it. So I don't know if they were affected, or they're just locking down for safety reasons. I don't know. But however, the fact is that that would lead me to believe that right now, if they lock down the airports, there is no standoff per se, and that they're trying to limit individuals that are leaving the country until they can figure out what's going on. So, like I said, we don't know yet how many men it was. We don't know the number of wounded. We don't know how many possibly maybe KIA. Like I said, those numbers are going to be once they confirm it. Oh man, hold on, guys. I've got, okay. If for you guys that are looking it up or doing some research, please do this. It appears that there was an explosion in Rome. Okay, and I do not know. This was reported about 1 minute ago. So please, if you're on Texas News Radio, yeah, news. If I say radio one more time, I'm sure Sarah's going to boot my butt out the door. But anyway, um, if you're on and looking for, go to Texas News Studio. I said it right that time, and let's see if we can get on this Rome thing as well. Um, like I said, I'm kind of locked into this Manila thing right now, but I am going to go and see if I can get into Rome and see what hell's going on. Um, it's nighttime there. As we can see, we still see the smoke billowing out of the. We still see the smoke billowing out of the building. Fortunately, unfortunately, how you want to look at it, the lights are on. So, but it looks like this explosion was on the back side of this building. Um, and it is not. Um, it is not. The only building in the area. There are adjacent buildings to it, so I'm sure that um, some other of the structures were damaged. We don't know the site. I'm looking for that. So if anybody has some information on Texas News Studio, yeah, I follow you guys, and I am actually um, uh, kind of commenting to other views what I'm seeing. I'm not copycatting you. I'm just actually, you guys are actually providing me with some questions that are coming up. Of course, of course, the freaking hotel is locked down. I mean, that's something, now, after they're saying they're actually committing out that the gun storm explosions, and that now that the gunmen are actually on the loose, considered to be armed and dangerous. We now have our first pictures of the individuals. Um, and these pictures are individuals, just like I said, they all have black hoods on. It looks like that there's a casino right there. It looks like it's the casino games. And they're there with the chairs. There is no there is no signs of any damage to this actual resort inside this area right now, where these two individuals are in black gear. Now, they do have long rifles. I'm trying to identify the rifle from the picture. It does not look like an AK-47, and it does not look like an AR-15. It's a smaller weapon, but it's got a large magazine capability because you can see the magazine. It is. I don't know, but judging by the magazines, I can see it right now. It holds more than 10 rounds. Let's put it that way. I'm not sure that, but so we're going through some of the information that I'm getting in right now. Fox is now on top of it. I think maybe that they learned their lesson from Kabul yesterday. We need to get on this shit, especially after it's happening every day. I mean, there's so what this is turning into is what it looks like based on some of my sources. What it's looking like, and I was kind of confirming this as well, is that it looks like ISIS is trying to control Manila. I don't know if this is the start of that procedure, or if this is just a way of saying we're here and we're going to start this war here, trying to gain control of Manila. For those of you who don't know Manila, Manila has been identified in the past of having increased terror activity. I know this for a fact. I picked this up the other day, that the young men are actually growing their hair out so they can look like women, so they can actually wear the burqa and the hijab, and they can appear as women. Because why? Well, because women aren't searched. Women have to be searched by another entity, and a female. So that cuts down on the people that are being searched. In other words, you appear as a female, and if you're a man, you can't really search them. You can't touch them. That's against their law. So you just have to let them go. We were, for a while, we were actually having our females search the females. However, the Kabul government and probably here in Manila as well, they don't think that's very good. They don't like it. Like again, ISIS is planning for the attack. ISIS have stepped up their presence in the Philippines after seizing the city of Mara. So Marawi, I'm sorry, I'm not, but anyways, so it looks like they seized the city now. And I can't really see where Morai or Marara is. However, it looks like it is. It doesn't show me where this actual town is, but it is being confirmed that they have seized the city of Marari, and now they're reaching out for other territory. It looks like. Once again, this is a very good point we keep bringing out. I hope everybody is paying attention to this. Mainstream media is not covering this as a major event. They are reporting it in blurbs. The bottom of the screen. That's what I call it, the blurbs. There is pictures and photos now that there are survivors. However, the fact is that one of my pet peeves, guys, is that people standing around taking photos after a bomb explodes. I've said this to you guys, and if there's a bomb that goes off, get the hell out of the area. Why do you want to take a picture of it? I don't care how much YouTube or whatever pays me. It ain't worth me getting blown up over. Okay. Fox News is finally reporting out that there is gunfire, and they're kind of late to the party, don't you think? They are showing now videos of the immediate area after the bombing, which is pure chaos. With this one, it's like a Chinese fire drill. They don't know which way to go. Everybody's just running everywhere. So it's obvious the exits and the entrances and where they can get out of some kind of attack like this. So, like I said yesterday, you got to do research. After a bomb explodes, how the heck do we get out of here? I'm not going to get off the air. I'm going to take a quick break here real quick because I've got some other information that I want to check over, but I want to do some research on it before I actually blurt it out. It looks like it's coming from Manila. I got a buddy, not in Manila, but he's in the Army, and he's transferred me non-classified. He's trying to transfer me information about the bases and that we have in Manila. Stand by. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I just came back. I got the information, and I want to make sure, like I said, want to make sure that it's confirmed. Here's what I know from the Philippines as far as the military goes right now. There are bases, small bases. The major port has been shut down, or we don't have a big major impact on the port. We just have a big impact there at the port. But now we don't. Most of the individuals that are there, that are in Manila and the surrounding areas, are special forces, quick reaction forces. We know that there are recons Marines in there. I would assume they're SEALs there. We do know that they're special operators that are in there to go in and actually quell threats such as this. Have they been deployed? I don't know. I can't get any. You won't be getting any word if they're special op. You won't be getting any word on that. And if you do, pass that along, because it is actual vital news to be passing on. Some of the questions. One of the questions we got is, was something about Houston, as I'm seeing or whatever. Now, Houston is they've got at least 4 mosques there in Houston. They're all radical, and they have been known to recruit. How we know that is because it was raided by the FBI around 5 years ago, and they found this type of information, and they took some in, and they took a bunch of their computers. But since it's their own compound, they do not they cannot go back in there because it's their own compound, and they can actually say you got to have a warrant to go in there. So it has been known in the past to where it is um, it is a terror cell operating out of there, with which that in itself, um, for me, I'm right there close to it, so that does pose a threat to me. Um, like I said, we have kept up on as much information as we can. I want to get some new followers in here. I want to get some people in here so we can start some conversation, I hope. But you know what? Not too many people want me to know or recognize that I go live sometimes. But I really actually go live now because of these circumstances, because of the terrorist attacks that are going on. And you know what? It's just every day there seems to be one, So this is, to me, this is news. I actually keep track of this on a whiteboard, and I actually track it as best as I can. But I also do it to actually notice a pattern. And I think yesterday I mentioned to everybody that I think that there's one going to happen again today, and sure enough, it did. So you almost can predict them now. You just can't predict where, or what time or where, but you know it's going to happen. And this is what Ramadan is all about, to instill fear on us and have us operate in fear. Now, there's a difference between diligence and fear. I mean, do your due diligence and pay attention to around, but you don't have to live in fear. You have to be aware, but it's not anything to be panicking over. The reason why I say this is because if you panic, you are going to make a bad decision. Not a well thought out decision. Okay. So we're looking at right now a number of just incidents that they are not even reporting it that much. It seemed like on the Twitter, Gab. I don't know who goes to Gab, because the fact is, you know what? Keep up with the news whatsoever. I mean, everything they get is secondhand, or somebody has to get in there and tell them. Now the video has emerged now that we're looking at, and the video is that people are just gambling. It is a gambling shop. There are 2 women there, and here comes the cavalry. I mean, here they come, and there's 2 individuals that we can find. One with a camouflage vest, and one is dressed all in black. And that's about all we got. So there's a little chain here that I think is kind of funny. This is kind of what we lulled ourselves into. The terror attack. We pray. We change Facebook profile we change our profile pic to a flag, and then our life goes back to normal. So that's pretty much how we handle, these events nowadays. I mean, we're actually, not only can I say, we're actually getting used to them, and that's scary, and that's a scary place for us to be. And what do we do? I mean, we've asked this question yesterday, but the issue is that it's still going on in community to address that issue. Now, I'm trying to say with the news, I don't want to. I don't want to start. I don't want to start all this ranting and raving or whatever. But anyway, it does appear, and I'm concerned right now because of the fact that we don't have any early reports of injuries, wounded, uh, and I don't know if it's because they can't get the numbers or whatever. But um, it leads me to believe that the situation is not really over, and that maybe, well, like they're saying, is the fact is that these gunmen are still at large. There's no been reports of confirming that. Well, one report I've got confirmed says that, and I haven't heard anything um, to the contrary. Um, Now, before we get into all the other news that are going on, I'm going to stay with this story. I am going to try to get you enough information because I think that this is relevant information, and I do not want this just to go away and push this underneath the rug because, as I said, I mean, it would be a dumbass to figure that this is not a pattern. Um, and I'm trying to check back with individuals that are reporting from Rome, and I don't hear anything from Rome. So if anybody has anything from Rome about reported um, explosion there, that's another thing that we need to get out on the airways. But like I said, all that they're confirming right now is just that there was an individual. We don't know how many that have entered into, or not anymore, that have entered this resort and it's open fire, and apparently they have um, blown something up in here. I'm going to play a little clip, and then maybe you can hear the. Uh, okay. Okay, so what this confirmed what I was saying earlier, that this is a major. There's other buildings next to this. In other words, there's more casinos. It looks like it's kind of like a casino type situation. And I don't know if you guys have ever been to the Philippines or whatever, but they love to gamble, man. And people from they love to gamble. Um, Now we're getting our first reports in. We got Reuters is reporting we got at least 25 wounded. Um, they're still reporting it as a terrorist attack, which leads me to believe that they're still on the loose. Uh, and we've got Trump, who said he's being notified. Are they saying that he knows about it? Um, However, there in this, I'm sorry, I'm reading information as it comes in. The resort is still on lockdown, of course, and the airport. Manila's still on lockdown. It's called the Resort World in Manila. Like I said, it, it is a place where people go and gather and gamble. So what we're getting in is it's just limited information right now. So we're saying we're going to get a news conference here within, well, he said 2 hours, so that's been when it's recorded. So we're looking at uh, 14:45 Central Time is where we're going to get an update. There are a lot of questions that they don't answer because the fact is they just don't know what the numbers are. They're reporting dozens of tours, which this needs to get out as well. And if you know somebody in or around Manila, or somebody that you're, you get the word out to us. If you can get in contact with them, make sure they're okay. That the airport is actually shut down as well. Um, Now, as far as the other news we've got going on, I'm still waiting on the reports from actually Rome, and I'm going to go and see if I can get. And you know how it is, man. I mean, they don't post anything right after it happens. You got to kind of look around, and you got to be suspicious. Suspicious. Did I say that right? I don't know if I said that right. But anyway, specific. About what your request is, so you can get the proper information or get to the right people who are actually covering this particular instance. The problem that we're having is the fact that there's multiple incidents going on that it's hard for news media or whatever to keep up with it. And this is why it's really important that we verify everything we're putting out. So here I've got it. Okay, that's May 12th. So that's old news so far. So that's May 12th. Rome bombing. I haven't got, so I have no update information on Rome, except the fact is that it's old information, and that we can belay that. I think it's already on the pass and coming out about Rome. So that's false alarm. But anyway, I did check into it. There's nothing really happening in Rome. There may be a bomb goes off right now. Not after I say that, but we don't know, and that's a lot of individuals we don't know. And like I said, we don't know where they're going to actually hit. And like today was Manila, yesterday was Afghanistan. We're at Manchester. We've had so many bombings. The fact is that what concerns me the most is that we're becoming kind of apathetic. I think that we're accepting these things or whatever. I got some. That the police are in control of the situation. Now that doesn't tell me if they're in control of the situation, or if they're just, or they had just secured. Which part have they actually secured? I mean, is the whole building secure? Is just the outside secure? I don't know. But anyway, my day has just been made. CC just entered the chat room here on Texas News Studio, and I got to comb my hair. She's here. I got to comb my hair. I got a clean shirt on. I got to comb my hair and make sure that she sees me. But Bam Kitty, she's in there too. I like her. Mary, of course. Susan, of course. Yeah, I know they're all women. Shut up. Okay, I know they're all women. But hey, man, what can you say? Going back, let's see. I'm checking up with the news. I'm kind of making light of it so everybody kind of understands, that this is a serious deal, but we're not getting that much information. And the thing about it is the fact that what scares me is the fact is that why aren't we getting information from these places in a timely fashion after an attack or something happens? The information being held from us. This is another confirmation that Philippines is battling ISIS for the control of the city of Mara. We don't know if that's an ongoing investigation. I don't know if that's being an ongoing battle or if they have launched it today. I don't know that detail. All I know is ISIS wants Marari, and I guess they're trying to do everything they can to get it. We are getting reports now from Fox, believe it or not, but it's old information. So guess what? I'm thinking censorship, but I believe since it's Manila, I believe we will get more coverage. I will caution everybody. I think everybody that does this, like I, the first information that comes out is not necessarily the true information. Uh, it changes, so be wary of that. So, but we're just going to rock and roll with the numbers that we have and the information that is being available to us while we go along, and we can piece together puzzle, kind of figure it out. Just the no one does have any details as far as how it happened, where it happened, how many people were bombed. We don't know. We don't know a lot right now, and that scares me because the fact is, like I said earlier, is that what is the holdup about after these terrorist attacks? Why are we being censored or not receiving the actual reports in a timely fashion? I think I said that. I didn't mean to repeat myself, but why aren't we getting the information? I mean, it's turned into social media is actually leading the way on this, which is a good thing. However, the fact is that we only rely on credible sources, and these credible sources we have determined, based on other events, if they're credible or not. And if they are credible, then we report what we can, but sometimes information will not be rightly reported, and information will not be getting out in a timely fashion. This bothers me. I don't know. Maybe some people have some answers. I don't. As far as that. Now, Vamp Kitty is reporting. I like her. She's very good at research. She's reporting that 6 minutes ago that there's a direct threat that it closes Evergreen State College amid high race tensions. I don't know where Evergreen College is. I don't know, but I'm sure she pretty much stays on top of stuff, and she'll get you the information. And she doesn't really talk and gab and gossip and stuff. She just basically comes in here to report information, and I like that about her. But like I said, Miss Gina and Cece, they've got my attention. I even comb my hair and everything when they come into the room, So anyway, we're going back here let's go back to the matter at hand. I'd like to get some reports of how many people were injured. I would like to get that. I would like to get, shit in one hand, on the other, see which one fills up faster. But that information has been highly confidential. We can't get a number on how many people. We have videos of the after the fact. We have pictures after the fact, but we don't have any. Here's a good one. Okay, check this one out, man. There's a bunch of cops standing around a forklift, just dead right now looking up at the smoke. I mean, not like they ain't got nothing to do. I mean, ain't no people to save or nothing. God forbid you go out there and save a life, put a tourniquet on somebody. I mean, it's not your job, right? I don't have information on how many ambulances responded, how many emergency vehicles were deployed. We don't have a lot of information right now, and it's basically what we've got right now is that they're still trying to figure out. They just know that something blew up in their shots. But like I said, there are different aspects of things coming out, and the fact is, I'm just trying to let you know what I get. Okay, and now you can kind of see the trouble of people who research this or go through it or whatever. You feel the pain of us because we want to know, we have questions, but we don't know who can answer them. So that's the issue that we all run into. We're trying to gain information on a topic that the government really doesn't want us to have information on in a timely fashion. In other words, they don't want to create a panic. Well, I'm sorry, we need to be aware of what's going on in the world. I mean, who died and made MSM boss? I mean, they can discriminate on which news they put out or whatever. like I said, I ran it on this before, and the fact is that with the MSM on these type of situations, that what's happening is that they don't report on it, and then or they water down the report to where it actually harms the actual incident because they don't pass out information in a timely fashion that could actually help individuals that are on the ground, that are actually in the area, or individuals like us that can actually get the news to the area. Um, with loved ones, or people that we know that we may just need to call. Yeah, I mean, may need to call and check on, say, hey, you're okay, did it affect you, things of this nature. But MSM has stopped doing that now, and that's a shame because the fact is that they were at one time a really prime. Um, they were really in their prime when they were just reporting the news. Now it's just like watching The View. I mean, you just get on there and you watch The View. Um, but some of the things that I can see right now, based on some of the photos, yes, there was a bomb. I don't think that this bomb was that huge. We're definitely not in the time frame. We're definitely not in the range of Afghanistan yesterday. The entire resorts, and there's resorts next to that are on lockdown. The amount of wounded that I see coming out of here, they're all stretched out. I cannot determine at this point in time what the images coming out, what type of wounds that they have. I know that there are reports of gunshots. People have been shot. I haven't got any reports on if the explosion has taken anybody out. And plus, be aware or be advised that the fact is that the individuals that are right around the bomb or were right around the bomb, it might be a while before you get information on them or confirmed. And this is an ongoing process. And this is a slow process identifying the bodies or whatever. One thing that I will notice is the fact is that carrying these stretchers out and dealing with these wounded people, there's no official type individuals, no police, no uh, ambulances or first responders or anything. I guess this is actually just civilians that are taking these people out, which, and that raises another a lot of questions or whatever. So, but looking at the photos, it did do damage. It did do some damage to the adjacent buildings. How much damage to the structure we won't know, because the fact is that they got better things to do than worry about a structure right now. And as of yesterday, I think it's an interesting note. As of yesterday, about this time when we knew about Afghanistan, the NBA Finals was trending on Twitter. Today, it's Pride 2017, which is trending on Twitter right now. However, the Manila bombing is at number 3. So at least people are paying attention to it and reporting on it. And that's something that all of us that get on and report or try to keep up with the story, that's something that is commendable, because the fact is that we know what's going on. We're informed, and we can inform other people, but people, to get them the actual truth that's actually going on, because the fact is it's verified from us, and we've done our research on whatever. You don't get info. I don't want to get information from Joe Smuckatelli down the block down there, just sipping his wine. Yeah, I heard about that. Next thing you know, he'll start, just so he can get money for his wine. He'll make up all kinds of stories. So hopefully, we won't get information like that. We get it firsthand. So I challenge everybody, but I really want to thank once again Texas News Studio. They come out with news. There's also the individuals that are in that chat room. They are constantly looking for news in their local area, and they are reporting it. I like the fact is that they post what's happening in their area. And the issue is what people don't understand. Well, somebody posts something in Wyoming. Well, okay, I live in Texas. Well, that may not necessarily pertain to me, so to speak, but it's good to know it's good to know the news. And it's good also to know that I can actually be aware of the event. If I have any loved ones, or if I had any people, or if I have anything in Wyoming that's going on, then I can properly inform these individuals. And that's why I do it. I know in Texas News Studio, I know there's a lot of people in there that do the same thing. And basically, because the fact is that with Texas News Studio, basically, they're one of many that used to be able to go live, but there have been so many crackdowns on people going live now, that probably the best way of getting breaking news is from Texas News Studio. They of course they don't stay on 24 hours. I mean, they're growing, and of course that'll happen eventually. They go through some growing pains, but the fact is that it's still during something like this, you can get reliable information, and you also can ask questions, and ask questions to people that may know, may not. Um, or if you ask a question, they can do some research. There's a lot of guys in there that are good at researching what's going on around them, not just concentrate on one story. Uh, they got their tentacles out around everything, reporting the news as it happens, or when they get it. And then it's up to you, it's fair enough. It's up to you to do the research and find out, your sources or whatever. But as far as finding the news and what's in the news, they're really good at getting the news out there, and they don't make any determination either way. They're just reporting the news, and that's the way the news should be. They should be just report the news, no commentary, no. I don't need Hannity to tell me from Texas News Studio what they're talking about. I know the people. They say something, I understand. Having to have a conversation with them. Like I said, though, if ever Christine's ever listening, when I put a clean shirt on today, I will comb my hair, even more deodorant, and that was just for Gina and Cece. So if y'all are listening in, okay, I'm looking pretty good today. Okay. If I get you, hey, if we have to go to the bunker, okay, you're invited to the bunker. Just remember that, I'm probably going to be better looking in about 30 days. So, hey, hey, don't cut off your possibilities here. Okay. And damned if we wouldn't have to be responsible. Damn. If we had to go to the bunker and everything, we would be responsible. It would be our duty to mankind to have to procreate. Like in the Bible, it says begotten. You got to do a lot begotten. So I think maybe I picked out my begottees, and I think maybe it's Miss CC, and well, Susan's on there too now. I don't know, but Susan's up there too. She just joined the ranks, and Miss Gina, of course. She's always up there. Sarah, yeah, but the only thing about it is me and Sarah. The fact is that what, Sarah will kick me out of it. If she get mad at me, she'll kick me out of the bunker. So I'm worried about that. But like I said, Texas News Studio, if you guys get a chance, check it out. Not only for this story, but other stories. Get in there and make some friends. Everybody's pretty nice, but don't be saying curse words. They don't like it. Or have a little attitude in there. They kicked me out one time for being mouthy. I don't know how I was being mouthy, but you know what? I probably was. So that's like whenever they kicked me out and put me in the dunce corner, if I had done something, I don't know. I don't know what I did, but you're probably right. So I never questioned it. But that's just me. We're looking at a map now, actually where we're at. Basically, they're reporting that it happened in between the airport and Manila. Now, in between the airport and the city of Manila, there is what they call airport mall road that goes, because it appears to me what happens is a lot of people come in and fly into Manila and have some time to kill, and they go out and they can go gambling or have a little day on the town, do something to eat or whatever. The second report that I've got is that the Army, have been called in Manila, and they say that they've got the situation in control. No word as of the suspects or what their status is. There's no word of how many there actually were. There's no word of how many people were injured. There's a lot of stuff we don't know about people and everything. Now that that more will be revealed, I'm sure. But as I said, this is the information that we're getting out right now, and I'm trying to get it out to you. And I'm actually I'm trying to go through different sources and trying to find out who's doing the right thing or whatever, or where I get some stuff of substance. Yeah, I'll go off on that. I'll go I'll go off on that tangent too, because the fact is we've got an issue at one of the schools or college that has been racially, it's racial tensions there right now. I know that in the last couple of days that there was another place, another college, and I sorry I can't um, name it right off the top of my head, but anyway, it was they wanted all the white kids to stay home. They didn't want them to come to class. Evergreen protesters hold admins hostage over demands. Okay, we've got that. That's breaking news. I didn't know about that. Thank you, Texas News Studio. They posted up there. Um, Sometimes for those guys, it's kind of hard to post everything, as fast. I don't know how they do it. That's because I get on there live because I can't keep up with typing, as fast as these guys do or whatever. And I'm not really good at spelling either, So I stay I stay up the best I can. So we do have Evergreen State College has been evacuated due to a direct threat among racial tensions. Thank you. You see how fast she was reporting this faster than anybody else. That's just an example of how these fastest people can get on it. And I use them as a really good source. I'm not doing it to compete with them or anything like that. I do it because I use the source, and then I've got my people that I'll talk to, and so we spread the word. Or not, we're, they know. So we get the word out by utilizing both of our aspects. I do challenge you if you're listening, or anybody who is listening. I think I've got one listener, but hey, I don't get my face. But if you are listening, just go into Texas News Studio, let them know that I'm live, and then I can support their effort to get the word out. Like I said, there are in this particular chat room, there are a lot of individuals who are good at doing research, and they're really good at confirming things. So I really rely on them for an actual good source. One of the reasons why is because the fact is that they research it, and then when they throw something out there, then the other individuals research it as well. So there may be a headline that comes out, and then you get all these little people in the chat, like Vamp Kitty is one of them, who stays on top of it. She doesn't really come in there to chat and talk, and she comes in there to spread the word and spread what's going on. And she's got a lot of places where she gathers her stuff too. I think she's on Ham as well. She's got Ham Radio. I know she's got other entities that she can listen to personally. Now about this Evergreen State College, what I do challenge you guys to do is that I don't know if you've ever checked it out or not, but anyway, you can go to Broadcastify. You can actually listen to the EMS. You can actually listen to the first responders. And you actually listen to the cops, what is going on live, as far as what is happening from the ground level up, which I like. So there are multiple places where you can go to get on-hand information. It's unfortunately that we have to actually go and look so hard to get up-to-date news or correct news. I mean, now I guess got this in, or Mary's reporting this or whatever, and saying that there is something that happened in Rome. I mean, like I said, I haven't seen anything on it. I'm looking around. So I'm actually looking for that too. I mean, that would be a damn shame if that happened today. You got Rome and you got Manila, and I would be like, you know what? When's enough? But like I said, the news out of Manila is pretty slow and trickling getting out. Body that has any information on Rome. I've done that before, and I did do some research on that, and they don't have anything of bombing going on since May 12th. Now, consider the source; they're never up to date. That I use Wikipedia. I'm sorry, WikiLeaks or Wikipedia. I use them sometimes, but it seems to me, and I've said this before, it seems to me that there is a delay in between actually reporting the news as it happens via live events or whatever. And I believe part of that is because the fact is that think that social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and all these other entities, I think what the problem is that they can't control the content. So they, they've been guilty of taping murders, and attacks. And in the service or in the agreement, it says that you are responsible for what you comment on. You're held, so they're not held legally responsible for what something that you say. How difficult is because the fact is, and they woke up and realized this, they may not be held liable, but they're still responsible. So in other words, they allowed that to happen on their site, which arguably, okay, they would be held in some kind of manner because it appeared on their site. And the bottom line is that they will come back. Any lawyer will tell you that, you didn't commit the crime, but you allowed it to happen on your channel. So looking for information on Rome. I haven't gotten any up-to-dates on that, but I do have that ability to catch it whenever it does come out. And I haven't seen anything that says anything wrong. It does report, first report said that apparently it was at the Vatican. I can't confirm any of this, but anyway, this is a rumor control, that the Vatican was, may have been an issue in this, but I don't know if this is true or not. I cannot confirm. I'm looking for anybody that can confirm the Rome bombing, if it's actually live. We're looking at now. I'm looking at now the photos, and just so you guys know, I look at the photos because the fact is that it's intel, and I can tell some things just by looking at the photos that what is actually going on. There's a lot of smoke billowing. It looks like it didn't affect the front of the building. It looks like it happened in the rear of the building, and the front looks like it's intact. So that would mean that these individuals set off this bomb or explosion in the rear. So they had been in there a while or had made pretty good progress of getting into this area before they blew their bomb. Now, we don't know if they were suicide bombers. We don't know how many are killed. We don't have any wounded. We don't, all these numbers all these numbers that we're asking about, we don't have them. Injured are being taken away by buses. I see now. Injured are being taken away by civilians. There is a very low presence in the casino itself of police officers and of emergency responders. So that kind of questions that thing that we verified was that they have it under control. It has been reported that they cordoned off the whole area, which would be common sense. But a popular tourist hotel, and of course, there was a lot of tourists there, so that will tell you right there that there's going to be multiple people, or countries that are going to lose some people today, are going to get hurt pretty good, and have harm done to them. In this particular area, I'm getting maps on this, and where it shows the resort as it pertains to where it is in Manila. So it's not necessarily in Manila. It's basically pretty much in the area of Pasay, P-A-S-S-A-Y, and Makata, M-A-K-A-T-I. I'm bad at whatever. So the report is actually coming from the Pasay province, and it doesn't show that it's actually in Manila. So we'll stand by for that. Stand by on that. I'm getting conflicting reports on where it actually hit. I think maybe what happened is they're reporting Manila because that's the biggest town closest to this incident, and that's what they're reporting from Manila. My experience with being in Manila, I've been there once, is the fact is that A lot of the outskirting cities you don't really know. I mean, if you say Manila, that takes up all the other little towns or whatever. Basically Manila. So it gives you a little perspective on that of how this could be confused with being in Manila. Um, they are saying some of these same pictures are coming out. Trump is coming out seeing the situation, and it's very sad. He says going on throughout the world terror with world terror. I don't know, to me, like I said yesterday, I don't really want to go on a rant again. Like I said, I'm just starting this channel and it's part of me, whatever. I'm done. I mean, personally, I'm done with this whole terror thing or whatever. I mean, I got a country or I got a group of people that want to kill me, and I got a group of people who want to kill my kids and that are targeting kids. And they come out and they say, we want to kill you. So that's all I need to know. Okay. I knew pretty much all I need to know after 9/11, and I went back in the military. So I've been fighting these guys for a long period of time, and it's time for me to go ahead and continue to fight and do what I can from here in America. I've been injured and I'm disabled, and I can't get around like I used to, and I call that PTSD over there and everything. So it doesn't allow me. Plus I'm old. Doesn't allow me to go back in and go back in and do my MOS, my job in the military. However, the fact is there are things that I can do as a civilian to support that effort, because we've got to stop this Muslim type of behavior. And it's not just pocketed in one area. It's happening everywhere, people. I mean, look at it. I mean, you can't look at the last week, okay, starting on the 26th, all the way through today. There has been something that happened every day. We're only hearing about the ones that actually go off. France was reporting that they foiled a bomb plot. I think it was on the 26th. Yeah, 26th. They foiled a bomb plot where they caught individuals driving with a bunch of automatic weapons and bomb-making material. So that was avoided. Where they were going, how they're going to do it, nobody knows. I mean, they're not going to say anything. Let them know what information, but that's another thing too, because the fact is that we're kind of fighting a losing battle, because the fact is that here and also in Europe and ones that are actually being targeted, we're fighting with one hand tied behind our back, because we don't really know and we're not privy to the information that the government knows. We need to be more informed. We need to be able to make critical decisions based on the information that we have and that our government has, that should be spreading that. I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again today. The president, I mean, everybody can talk about Trump or whatever, but, and I don't really care. I mean, I don't care which way you go with Trump or whatever. That doesn't matter to me. But anybody that sits in that president of the United States chair and is the president of the United States, you really only have one job, okay? And that job is to protect the American people. That is your first and foremost responsibility, period. Okay. Now, this is not being done. Our American citizens are not being protected here at the homeland, and they're not being protected, okay, in Europe or other countries. Okay. Now, when you're president of the United States, it doesn't state, well, you only protect the ones that are here in America. You only protect the individuals or the Americans that, are, in our border areas with Puerto Rico or whatever. You protect the American people all around the world. You don't get to pick and choose when you want to protect somebody. You're elected president because this is your main job. Okay. Now, you can say this about all the other scandals and everything that he's in. I don't know. It's so hard for me to keep up. I don't know about what he did right and what he did wrong. But what I can say is what I do know, and what really ticks me off is the fact is that this is happening to American cities, and it's also happening abroad, taking civilians' lives. In other words, they're taking, okay, Christians and killing them. Now, however you want to look at the situation, however you want to take it or whatever, then still it goes back to the fact that he's not doing his job. I mean, he's not protecting us. Now, we argue, well, it was all done on Obama's watch or whatever. Well, Probably so. I don't know, but the end result is that it's the president of the United States' job to protect. Part of this, we'll go back to the fact is that yeah, the Ninth District Court comes back and says, you know, well, this ban is illegal, confirmed by Hawaii, confirmed by many in court. Well, the bottom line is this, people. I mean, whether you like it or not, the president has that power to ban people. Matter of fact, Obama was the one who started this with the 6 countries. He was in the process of implementing and putting it in place. So this is not a Republican or conservative type idea. We recognize back, Democrats recognize back, Mr. Obama even recognized back, we got to get a handle on this damn Muslim problem. It's becoming to a fact where, you know what, it's out of control. And this goes right here to prove it. You cannot ignore terrorism anymore. Okay, you can't. You cannot ignore all these bombings. And you can't blame it on radicals, or you can't blame it on this. It doesn't matter. Okay, ISIS is a Muslim organization that wants to take over the world and have Sharia law or instill Sharia law. That is it. They have stated they're going to kill every infidel to do so. So I don't see where this is a surprise to anybody that this is happening. What I do want to ask is the fact is that why are we allowing for it to continue to happen? This is a question that we need to ask ourselves. When? I mean, are we going to make a stand against this? And what do we do? I mean, we've got to have that conversation. And that conversation has to come out between individuals like yourself and mine. We need to have this conversation because there's something out there that has said that they're going to kill you, and that he will protect us from these individuals. And the bottom line is these individuals have already stated we're at war with you. Now we don't get to pick and choose who we choose to go to war with. If a country says they're going to war with you, they're at war with you. Well, their intention is to kill you. Period. All right. But too often times what we do is the fact is that they're not serious. They don't mean it. You know, it's not going to affect us. You know, well, this is a prelude. Afghanistan and today Manila, okay, is just a preview of what's coming. Okay, it's plain writing. It's right in front of you. Cannot accept the fact that this is not going to go away if we ignore it. We're going to have to address the situation sooner or later. Now, for me, my personal opinion was I'd rather deal with them over there than deal with them here. And the reason why is because if I just said I've got kids, I've got grandkids, I've got people that I love, family, I've got individuals that I swore an oath to protect, like yourself. And if I'm going to properly do that, I don't want to have to be put in a situation where I have to defend my home, okay, because of something that I should have taken care of a long time ago. And it is a problem, guys. And the thing is that we're not doing anything about it. And I'm typing here in a second here. I know y'all get pissed off when I do that, but you know what? I'm doing it. And we're not doing anything about it. Okay, now, and this is starting to be a trend with our current president right now. And I'm to be honest with you, I'm prior military, so I really don't care because all I know is I serve at the pleasure of the United States, the president of the United States. Okay, but I do have my opinion, and I'm actually able to I can basically say something with my experience. Is the fact is that we are being put into a corner. All of our enemies see us as being weak right now. All of our enemies are taking advantage of that. Because the fact is that, we draw a line, and I said this before, we draw a line in the sand, and guess what? We draw the line in the sand, and then we keep moving the line, Well, pretty soon there ain't gonna be enough dirt to draw a line in, and you know what? You can't draw the line no more. What's that gonna take? Well, in World War II, I mean, killing off of Jews, creating genocide. We didn't watch that. How many lives did we save if we got into Earth? How many lives could have been saved in Pearl Harbor if we would have admitted that, you know what, hey, Japanese are gonna go to war with it. You know, what does it take for the American people um to see a situation, know it's not gonna get better? I reckon it to a bar fight. And you know, I don't know if you've been in, some of you ain't been to a bar, some of you never been in a fight, but I'm just saying in a bar fight, you pretty much know you're about ready to get in a fight. I mean, you can pretty much know it's coming. You can feel it, you can see it, you know. So you pretty much know. So then you got a question to ask yourself: do I go ahead and let him hit me first, okay, or do I initiate it, okay, and get the heads up? Um, and why are we sitting there taking it so much? I mean, why? I mean, I made this analogy yesterday. It's like, you know what? Okay, I understand. I understand. I am a Christian too, and I understand. You know, turn the other cheek. And okay, I got two cheeks. I got two cheeks. So what happens when you slap both of them and then you hit me square in the mouth? What am I supposed to do then? You know, and I got the answer. What I would do, you know, and there's a lot of people out there that say, you know what, you just you're promoting vigilante justice. Well, I'm not. I do believe in the stand your ground rights. I do believe that you need to stand up for something that you believe in. I believe whatever that is. If you feel that strongly about, stand up and stand up and and make a stand against it, whatever it may be. But the fact is that whenever it is um, against your civil rights or against your rights or your inalienable rights, or it's actually affecting somebody else's rights, okay, I don't care if it's the government or whoever it is. You've got to stand up to that, because the fact is, if you let them get away with it once, they're going to continue to do it. Look at China. Okay, how many missiles? Somebody tell me, how many missiles is it going to take for them to launch for us to stop, for us to make them stop sending missiles? Give me the number. Is it 10? Is it 20? What is it? How much of this do we allow to go on? Well, seems to be like that our gut feeling is the fact is, well, we're not really going to do nothing until we're not really going to do nothing until they hit something. So, what? I mean, you know, yeah, until they launch a nuclear weapon, we're not going to do it. We're going to let them build it. We're going to let them. We're going to let them build it. We're going to let them test it. We're going to let them do every damn thing they can to make it an ICBM with and capable of carrying a nuclear warhead. And we're even gonna allow that. They can even have one. But the only problem is the fact is we ain't gonna do nothing until, guess what? Until they hurt somebody. Or they actually launch a missile that actually does damage and cause loss of life. That's what we're dealing with here. We're just sitting back and waiting for how many people? I mean, what does it take? Okay, we've already proven the Koreans are not going to go away. We tell them to stop testing, and they launch another one the next day. ISIS, same thing. You know, we go tell them we're going to come after them. We're going to, you know, and we don't really go to where they're at. The sales where they're at. I mean, we bombed Afghanistan. Well, okay, we killed 19 Taliban. Okay, but the Taliban is not the one who's taking credit for this. It's ISIS. Okay, just don't get it twisted. Because the fact is, the Taliban is the ones that actually, okay, don't condone this type. To make it short, the Taliban is bad. I know I fought against them, but the fact of the matter is that, you know what? Even they have scruples. Okay, you won't see too many Taliban members actually beheading people. They'll fight the crap out of you, and they'll fight. But you know what? They draw the line on cutting people's heads off. Okay, so actually, Taliban is actually not as bad as ISIS. They're bad, but they're not as bad. You don't see ISIS. I mean, you don't see the Taliban claiming any responsibility for these bombings. You don't see the Taliban promoting killing kids. You don't see them doing that. Do I trust the Taliban? No. Am I trying to speak good for the Taliban? No. I'm just trying to tell you how they are. They'll still fight you and they'll still kill you. You know what I mean? All right. So we've got a lot of people now. Okay, and I think maybe now we're going to have a lot of Asians from Manila or from the Philippines. They're going to realize, this group's going to realize that, you know what, we're not even safe. And apparently that has to happen to every ethnic group for them to realize after attack that they were targeted. Okay? How else can you target a country except blow something up in their country? Okay. I just put you on a list, Philippines, about who they don't like. And the thing about it too is that they've already said it. They're already battling for Manila right now. There's a fight going on between the government and ISIS over who runs Manila. That's just a little tidbit that they won't share with you, but it's documented and it's true. Because whoever controls Manila, the rest of the country goes. So this is not just an ideology fight. This is not just an issue of ideology. Okay, it comes down to the bottom line, to where you've got an individual group, okay, that have said they're going to kill you, and they're doing it. I mean, it's not like they're crying wolf. They're not saying, you know, we're going to kill you, okay, next year. No, they're doing it right now. Look at the countries that we tend to ignore now. France, they're gone. They're hanging by a hair of the thread. And then you go for Germany, they're gone. Even Merkel says, you know what, they can't count on the United States because they support terrorism. How many more, Sweden, how many more countries have got to go down to Muslims before we take heed and say, you know what, this could be a problem for us? You know, this might be a problem for us in the future. Why don't we do something? Let's nip it in the bud before it gets over here. Let's nip it in the bud before it gets over here. I'm opening up my membership to the NRA. I know some people have a problem with that, but mad because, oh, they sent me a sticker. I'm trying to say they didn't send me no darn sticker. I paid and I even better get a sticker. You sent me a little knife, a nice little knife too. That's pretty cool. I like that. But anyway, so for $30 a year, I can get a knife and I get a sticker. So I'm happy playing for that. So where was I? Oh, okay. Now we're coming out, okay, with ABC. The U.S. Embassy is finally coming out, okay, and has issued an emergency message to the American citizens that are in the Philippines, and they're just saying exercise caution, and review your personal security plans. Okay, does anybody else see a problem with that? Okay, they didn't say it, tell them to stay home. They didn't tell them to get your butt back on a plane and go to freaking home. They just said watch your surroundings. Okay. If you want to know information, you can go to the State Department, okay, at travel website, and you can go to click on the link where it says worldwide caution. They give you the travel warnings, travel alerts. Then they can actually give you specific information on the Philippines. You also have the availability to contact the U.S. Embassy in Manila to check up on loved ones. You can actually call, and you might get a message, but they'll give you the current up-to-date situation that they have right now. There won't be any information on the number of wounded, the number of dead, or there won't be any information of American citizens involved until it'll take a while for them to come down with it. Okay. because the fact is that they're still determined. You got to realize that you're dealing with Manila. Same thing with Kabul. They're not as modern as we are. Even though they've got internet and they've got phones, they still have people in outlying areas that don't have that capability, and they don't have the capability of keeping up with the news as it goes by. Now, I don't want to get off on a tangent. I'm looking. They got it. They're saying they're investigating. Well, no screaming eagle shit. Okay, but I'm what I really want to bring out to you is I look at a lot of these photos coming out of Manila, and the fact is, there's a lot of cops just standing around. I mean, I don't know, but if it was me and I was a cop, I'd be trying to look for people that are wounded, trying to get help to them or whatever. But they're all just sitting there staring up at the building like that's going to do something. We're getting new reports in now that they're saying dozens of individuals. I don't know. That would be 12, but then you add an S on that, so that means what? Dozens would mean more than 12. So you're looking at 24. I guess they're trying to confirm that. I don't know. But like I said, these numbers are not going to come out until the government, our government, allows them to come out through the mainstream media. Now, in the mainstream media, of course, they're going to be an hour late. I've proven that on reporting their news. So if you're waiting on MSM or the mainstream media to get your information, I would just tell you that you're wrong. Like I said, my preferred first source is Texas News Studio. Like I said before, because the fact is that it allows them to give me the story, and then I can do my research on it and make my own darn decision. And I can look at the chat and see what other people are thinking as well. I don't go there to argue. I don't go in there to, you can go in there and just state your opinion and, and see how you read the news. And people are mature enough in there to say, I disagree with you, but we'll agree to disagree. Okay. Except for Sarah, if I say something wrong with Sarah, and normally I don't say nothing to disagree with Sarah. I always agree with Sarah, but the fact is, she just likes to kick me out. That's just a little. I think that it's just a way of her showing her affection for me. I think that's what it is. Sarah kicks me out because she wants me to pay attention to her right now. Okay, I'm just joking. Dang, come on, I got a sense of humor, Sarah. I'm just joking. Now, for anybody listening out there, if you know me, maybe you can spread the word. But the fact is, that, you know what? I got a sense of humor. Okay, I don't mind using it. So if you're taking me seriously sometimes, you know what? I'll let you know when I'm serious. Okay, you don't know when I'm serious, but anyway, I like to pick and joke and try to make these situations a little bit more bearable. Trying to loosen up the tension. Most of the time whenever I go in there, sometimes I ain't been kicked out for it yet, but sometimes when the tension is too bad in the chat room there and it takes from the studio, I go in there and I just say boobs, and breaks, tension breakers got to be said. I think people right now are kind of warming up to the fact that I'm just messing around or whatever. So I'd like to believe that, but I don't. There's some people that haven't gotten it yet. Let's just put it that way. But it's not my fault. I mean, what? Like I said, I'm not really concerned about really what everybody thinks about me because anyway, we go on that whatever. But I will say that what I wish that Miss CC, I put on a clean shirt for her today, and I combed my hair. Miss Gina, I think that she has a crush on me too. I think. Because she was saying she wore my footsies with me one time, and I was like, yeah, you know what? That's not sound like a bad idea. And then there's Sarah. Sarah's, like I said, she's got a crush on me too, but she's got a funny way of showing her what she does. She kicks me out of the room, and I think that's her telling me you're not paying me enough attention. And then, like I said, I always recognize Ma'am Kitty because she's always on top of stuff. And whenever she comes out with something, man, you can just bet you can go ahead and bet your pot on it because she's probably right. There's Miss Susan, who I find interesting to talk to. I like to talk to her or whatever. And hear what she has to say or whatever. And I think maybe she might have a crush on me too. I think, I'm starting to believe that a lot of these individuals in Texas New Studio, they're just playing hard to get. I think that's what it is. They're playing hard to get. And, I don't get that hard to getness. So I got to figure them out individually. But like I said, those right now are my favorites. They're welcome in my bunker. And like I said, though, you know what? All of you women out there, you're gonna have to take a number because and stand in line. Because everybody wants to get to know Steve a little bit. So just letting you know, you might have to stay in line a little bit, but I'll get to you. Okay. Okay, that was damn funny. Um, I I don't know how many people from there's not very many people listening or whatever, so I can say what I want to say. And, now if I say something wrong, I mean, you don't hear. I mean, I'm sure I'll hear about it from somebody over there, but they haven't really picked up on me going live, whatever. And a lot of people haven't picked up on me going live yet. I just started doing this stuff, and the reason why I do it, people ask me, why are you doing it? Nobody listens to it. Well, the fact is that maybe one time, maybe while I'm spreading news or as I see it, maybe that it might help somebody out. And that's basically what it's all about. It's just basically helping out somebody else that needs to have the information. My thing is, I don't know why I'm behind a Google wall. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. Well, somebody says I'm behind a Google wall. So I don't know about all that. Let me check it out and see what's going on here in the real world. I got to keep my options open because the fact is, I'm new to this and I don't know if I'm doing it right or wrong. I like to say I'm not wrong all the time, but I'd like to say, at least I can get up online or whatever. Okay, well, I'm rebooted. That's what's happening now. Uh, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. So we're just gonna get out of there and go back to my regular station. Where was I? I was talking about my girlfriend's over in Texas New Studio. Yeah, I found out that they pretty good girls or whatever. And they got a level head. I don't, somebody you can talk to, whatever. That's just me. But in other news, I guess maybe we'll cover some of that. Basically, what I'm looking at is that with Trump, I don't know about all the stuff that he's into. Guys, I'm honest with you, and I don't think even in the chat room when I go to is you can't figure out from day to day what the hell's happening. I mean, it's like what's going to be today, and now we got people, we got reporters getting, and they aren't a reporter. Don't get me wrong, they're not. Hannity's not a reporter. Tucker's not a reporter. Don Lemon for damn sure ain't no reporter, and what's his name? I don't know what his name is, whatever. But anyway, on CNN, Anderson Cooper, he's not a reporter. Basically, all they are is they're people get up there and take somebody's story and run with it, and they get the credit for it. They don't do no actual journalism. I challenge, any. I compare actual journalism to this, and it's just to two that broke the Watergate. Watergate wide open, Woodward and Bernstein. I mean, that's reporters. I mean, they dug in and they actually got to the root of the problem by old-fashioned way, by utilizing their journalism techniques and using the tools of being a journalist. That's what I measure journalists on. I do take heed. I do take notice of individuals that are actually doing their job, especially in the journalism, how hard it is to do this. As far as the journalists go, I know that it's very difficult to. Hold on, hold on. Let me do something here. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm not a very good. I'm not a very good. I guess. Okay. 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 I'm back. I think I'm back or whatever. Anyway. Okay. I'm sorry. It's my bad. Whatever. So anyway, with the current situation going on now, that's kind of taking. I'm kind of taking a back seat to that. Because the fact is that I'm more interested, or not interested, but I'm more concerned about what's going on in, I guess, in the real world, I guess we would say, about these explosions and about these people getting hurt and being killed. And for no reason. I can't see any reason except for the fact is that, they're, they're the Hodge, man. That's what they do. And I'm sorry if you think I'm profiling, or you sorry think I'm an Islamophobe, or whatever the fact. Well, I'm not an Islamophobe, because the fact is that uh, I'm not a Islamophobe. I'm a realist. You know, I deal in reality. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, got feathers like a duck, got webbed feet like a duck, I'm pretty much damn sure that it's a duck. Okay, and I don't really need a lot of people to make up my mind on that, because that's pretty much set in stone. Um, that uh, it's a duck. So why do we have such a problem with calling? Uh, do we have calling Muslims a terrorist organization? I mean, you can't tell me that that care. Okay, Muslim brothers, brotherhood. Um, you can't tell me that all these individuals that are up for the Muslims, and the reason why I say that, okay, and this is, I know, touchy subject. The reason why I say that is because the fact is that not once after every incident where ISIS claims responsibility, okay, um, do they ever come out and denounce it? Okay, they never come out and say, "Oh, this is wrong." And I wonder about that, because the fact is, why not? I'm sorry. You know what? I can't type no more. I don't know how hard I try, but I can't type no more. I don't know. I know my letters, man. I know my ABC. I do. See, I can't. Okay. Okay. I think I got. Anyway, I'll send this message out. Trying to see if I'm trying to have some of my buddies that want to come back in. They say I'm behind some damn kind of wall or something. I don't know. Um. Uh. Okay. I got another one here that there's my campus sources say rumors that there is an active shooter, contrary to the reports of a threat. I don't know. I'm assuming this is from the college. I guess. Yeah, this is from the college. And uh, I don't know what's going on with that. I can't get anything. Uh, I can't get anything confirmed on that. I think it needs to spend some time on what the hell is going on there. Uh, but anyway, I've been online for a little bit, and I haven't really gotten that many listeners, and I can understand that, but I'm just going to say what I think, and just go ahead and go and give you guys the news as it's being played. Um, like I said, where we're at right now on Manila is that it's dropping on the trender list. I mean, and the reason why it's dropping is because the fact is, like I said, the delay between the actual figures of coming out. Now, I have made it a point, and I'm just go over this real quick, is that the fact is that there is a delay, and I will tell you this right now, it has been confirmed. I've timed it. Okay. There is a delay after an incident. It's 45 minutes to an hour before mainstream media even reports on it. Now, I don't know. I mean, you guys are smart individuals. Y'all figure it out. Is it Censorship? Well, yeah, I guess, but then again, it's not censorship if they feel, and it's the way the government looks at it. It's not censorship because the fact is that they don't feel that the American public can handle this type of information coming out about a live event. I mean, it's a live event that's going on right now. Why can't we see what's going on? Well, that stopped back there in the Vietnam area because the news networks, the government told the news network, we don't want to see no more dead bodies or people getting on our front line actual reporting. And then it was carried over into Desert Storm. Um, and I know because I was in Desert Storm, and the fact is that reporters were only allowed in a certain area. They couldn't just go out with a frontline unit. They just couldn't go. Um, they had to get permission to go wherever they wanted to go. So it's not anything new. It's something that we know, um, and we know this is going to happen. We know that the news is going to do this, and then we're seeing the actual effects of it right now. That's where we're at. The Paris Accord now is trending. Paris Agreement. I guess Trump says he will withdraw from it, and we're still on Manila. And like I said, this pisses me off because the fact is, how many people are not helping other individuals, and they're all walking around with a damn cell phone. I mean, and they're not talking on it to spread information. They're just out there taking pictures and doing their video cams and stuff like that. Now, I understand that you have to document history, and I understand that it needs to, the word needs to get out or whatever, and you need to, but that should take a low priority if there's injured people that you can help. And I'm not talking about just applying a tourniquet or stopping and bleeding or anything like that. I'm talking all the way down to, don't let shock set in. I'm talking about talking to them until they can actually get out of the area to where it's safe. Help somebody else first before you start thinking about yourself and how good you're going to look on YouTube the next day. Like I said, with YouTube now, it's very difficult for you to get a live event out anyway if you're in this kind of situation, because they're monitoring. They're monitoring the information coming out because, like I said, they got to make sure that it's an agreement that the American people can handle it, and we don't it doesn't cause some kind of big riot and ruckus or whatever. What it does is that they have control of the information that is coming out, especially in an instance like this, that they don't know. They don't know if we can handle it or not, and they don't know how much we can handle it, whatever. So basically, they've got MSNBC or they got MS mainstream media by nuts and let them know you cannot report this until we say you can report this. And if you do, then you know what, you're gonna play hell with the government because FCC is gonna mess with you and all kind of other stuff. So there is a method to their madness. But what we know right now, and it comes out at this point. I got to bring up, it's like every time that there is an incident like this, and it's becoming more obvious or whatever, the first thing everybody does, okay, is pray. So pray for Manila, pray for them. I don't mind people praying, I don't really, but it's getting to be it's just going to be, okay, terror attack, prayer, change your Facebook profile with Manila freaking flag on it, and you just go back normal. Like yesterday with Afghanistan, I mean, I got up this morning, there wasn't nobody else talking about Afghanistan. There was no updates at all from Afghanistan. None. Not on social media anyway. We were more important. There's more important things going on. I mean, Trump, Paris Agreement, that's more important going on, People are getting blown up and we're worried about whether we're in an agreement or not. In the Paris Accord. I mean, set your priorities straight, people. I mean, what is it for anybody for me, if anybody is not paying attention to what's going on and paying attention to what is happening around the world, okay, I can't fathom it. First of all, I can't believe that you're that stupid to think that this is an isolated incident. It's happening every day, folks. I mean, this is happening every day. Now, when are we going to wake up and smell the coffee? You know, the job, I guess. This needs to be addressed. We need to be talking about this on social media. I see it too, and I'm not condemning them, I'm not condemning them or whatever, but it gives me an idea of the public because, like I said, I do like going to Texas News Studio, but I see it in that room as well. I'm not downing anybody, but I see it because an incident like this in Kabul and Manila happens, and within 15, 20 minutes, conversation goes up way over in something else. You know, the conversation is moved to something else. And my question is that I understand people are trying to break the tension. I understand that. And I understand they're trying to pass the time um, by waiting for new information to come out. Yeah, I understand that. But the issue is that why aren't we asking questions on social media that we need answers to? I mean, you know, why aren't we pointing people, good people that do research very well, like Grant Petty, like Cece, like Sarah, like Kirsten, individuals. Another guy named Steve, he's really good on the weather. Um, so you have individuals that have the information, and why aren't you asking them? I know, why aren't you asking them? Because they can't think of a request. I mean, they can't think if you were interested in a question or whatever. And that goes back to the point where, you know what? It goes back to the point is where you want to be popular on YouTube, and you want to have people follow you, and you want to have people, you know, pay you attention. You want to have all these kind of things. So you're kind of censored on what you want to say. I guess who was it saying? Somebody yesterday. I don't quote. I don't misspoke. But anyway, you know, it's not politically correct. Well, I'm sorry, people, but from the way I see it, us being politically correct ain't working for us right now. Okay, whatever issue, whatever policies we have in the United States, okay, to deal with terrorism, okay, they have been tried in other countries, France, England, Sweden, Germany. They have been tried, and it ain't working. The reason why we're not getting more attacks, and I'm just saying this is only the first, but the reason why I believe we're not getting more attacks is because the fact is that, you know what, they do not have enough people right now to do the amount of damage that they want to do in America. They don't have enough cells working together. They're forming a cells. Yeah, they are. I know in Garland, Texas, and I know in Houston, Texas, and Katy, Texas. I know that they're forming. You can ride by and see they got a compound to their own. They got their own airport. They go by Sharia law in there. They don't appear in civilian court. You know, if they get charged with a crime, then you know what? They just tell the law we're going to handle it, and we let them get away with it. You can get caught stealing something. A Muslim get caught stealing something in Garland, Texas, and the cops will turn you over if you're a Muslim over to that compound in Garland and assume that you're going to be properly treated, that you're going to be charged with a crime and you're going to actually pay for that crime. True. I challenge everybody to look around right now. Just go to your map. Just go to your state. Or even just go to Google and say mosque in America. Do that. That's going to scare the shit out of you. I guarantee. And that's not something that I'm making up. I mean, I have no reason to make stuff up. I have no reason to want a whole lot of followers. I cherish the ones that I've got. I should be paying you guys to listen to me. But I'm just trying to bring out points that I see that I'm sure that you're asking the same questions to. And I believe that collectively, if we all get together and maybe not be so politically correct and ask questions that we want answers to, and we start getting those answers, I think, you know what, next thing you know, we're all going to start working together and we're going to get our answers on our own. Or we're going to force the government to actually make up. and release those documents that we are entitled to. It's our information. They're hiding information from us that's actively going on about an incident that's happening in the world. And they're delaying it for 45 minutes to an hour. Now, does that sound like America to you? I mean, really, does that sound like it's even part of the Constitution? I mean, does it even minutely? Damn, I learned that word, man. Minutely transform to what you currently believe or what you view as the Constitution? No, it doesn't. Because any time that anyone puts you in a position where you cannot obtain information that you have every right to get, it's censorship, and it's against the law. And our America, in America, I'm sorry, we're so apathetic. We're just letting it happen. This case improves why that ISIS is getting away with stuff. Because the fact is, why they're getting away with it is because people are letting them. And another thing is, we don't know how to fight ISIS. We have no doctrine in the United States Army. We have no doctrine, military, anywhere across the world that explains to you how to fight terrorism. The closest we can get is put the lessons that we learned from Vietnam into effect, because the fact is we had to learn the hard way. We had to learn how to fight a guerrilla war. And it took us a lot of lives to finally figure it out. By the time we figured it out, it was too late. And in addition to that, by the time that we got it, all the generals started making the decisions. And then it got worse, because the fact is then the government would not allow the generals to make the decisions who were on the ground. And the government was telling you what you could and couldn't shoot at. And I don't know about you, but and I've been in plenty of battles, but I'll tell you this right now, okay? I can count to you how many times that we were in danger because the fact is that we were waiting on the word from the White House or from the Pentagon to come down to see if we could shoot in that area. Now, take in mind, that didn't mean they ain't shooting back at you. They're shooting back at you, and you got to sit there and wait until the government says it's okay to shoot back and kill these people. So I don't want to get off on a government rant, but I am. But and I don't mean to get off on rants. Some dudes sometimes they just hit me. But that's part of being about my channel, because I want to encourage people to actually come on and speak out. I'm not going to bite you. I'm not going to cuss at you. I'm not going to disagree with you just because I don't like who you are, because I believe in one thing: principles before personalities. Put my principles before somebody's personality. The principle is that, you know what, they have a right to speak, and they have a right to say their opinion, and they have a right to do so. Now, do you have a right to listen to them? No, you don't have to listen to them. You can turn it off. I mean, or for somebody out there yelling on the soapbox out there, you know what, you don't listen to them. Turn them away. Go walk away from him. But the conversation's got to start somewhere. The conversation has got to start about what is about to happen. And I'm not predicting any doomsayer type of information or whatever. What I am predicting is I'm actually seeing events as they happen right now that we need to be concerned about. I'd laugh. A lot of people have a lot of followers on YouTube, and that is not my goal. I should pay you guys to listen to me, but like I see a bunch of individuals that get on here, and I don't know, like Dabu7. He's got some good information if you follow him, but then he gets off on these tangents sometimes about Mount Vesuvius and the aliens and all this other stuff, how the earthquakes are. That may be true, okay, but I haven't got no proof of that. And the other thing too is, you know what, if there is alien life on Mount Vesuvius waiting to take over, they don't have nothing to do with us. Look how jacked up the world is. They don't have nothing to do with us. They're just sitting back, kicking back, eating popcorn, watching the show. Because sometimes, I catch myself doing this out of all of the stuff that I cover as far as um, disasters, and I cover and I keep up with this or whatever. It's not that I'm some kind of junkie or something like that on disasters. I'm not. But sometimes I just have to sit back and I have to laugh because the fact is, like, you know what? Tell me people cannot be this stupid. When does when does common sense come back into play of being intelligent? You know, I had a guy tell me one time, he said, you know what? I got 2 degrees. I've been to college for 8 years, got 2 degrees and everything. I said, okay. I said, well, what's your degree in? I got a degree in basket weaving. Okay. Got my master's in basket weaving. I was asking myself, why the hell are you in the damn food stamp line? Because you can't find a job. So it doesn't matter how many years of college you go to. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you're stupid because you went to college. It just means that somewhere in those 4 years or 6 years that it takes you to graduate, okay, common sense seems to slip through your education. I'm all for higher education. I'm for everybody being smart as they can. But the fact of the matter is, here's what I want you to understand. You can have any degree that you want to, but if you ain't got no common sense, then damn, you ain't no good to anybody. Because the fact is there's got to be a point to where you sit back and you say, you know what, does that make sense? Does that look right? And you have to make up your own mind. Too many times we all get labeled into a group. And I hate that. You can get labeled into a group by saying this one thing, saying, you know what, I voted for Trump. You're automatically assumed to be alt-right and all this and racist and all this and everything. You're automatically assumed you put in that group. I don't do that. What I do is they say, you know what, who'd you vote for? I said, I voted for so-and-so for mayor. He said, well, no, who'd you vote for president? I said, well, you know what, I didn't vote for president because I'm sure there's 12 illegal aliens that voted for me, so I don't need to worry about that. Matter of fact is, you know what, I can't change what the government's going to do, and the president sure ain't going to listen to me, so guess what, the only place I can make a difference is with starting with my city hall. Starting where I live and how it affects me directly. So I don't get caught up in all the mainstream media and all their things or all their topics or whatever. Because the fact is that if you look at CNN right now, and I challenge you please to do this, or any MSM, and I don't know why I just said CNN, but any mainstream media today, here's what you'll see. You'll get somebody that's supposed to be important, okay, and they get up there and they make a statement or they make some kind of speech, and then you got a panel of people that'll talk about it all day, trying to tell you what they said. Now, I don't know about you, but in my chat room that I stay in pretty much, and I love to go to, which is Texas News Studio, I go there because the fact is, you know what? One of the reasons why I'm attracted and go in there because they're intelligent people. Okay, they don't need to be explained what they heard, or you don't get down to that level. You don't need to have somebody explain what you just heard. You have an opinion, of course, and everybody shares their opinion. But the fact of the matter is, you don't need, okay, to babysit somebody like their 3-year-old, okay, and make sure that they're listening. They can hear. You may not agree with what what they heard. You may not agree with the way they took it, but it's all interpretation. It's kind of all relative. So the issue is that do we look at that and do we make changes based off that? Well, we should. Because obviously what we got working right now, okay, it's not working. We got more scandals. We got more weapons pointed at us. We got more people that are angry with us and hate us than we've ever had before. I don't know if it's just that they just be more vocal about it or that we just know more. But anyway, we got more people ever that hate us because they see us as weak. And we are. And we promote that we are weak. I think Trump thought, you know what, dropping the mother of all bombs was going to send a message to the world that we're not weak. Well, how'd that work out for it? Did it? Well, it's time. okay, for individuals like me and you, and I'm not going to get on soapbox and start, but it's time, and I'm going to let you make up your own decision. It's time, okay, to decide which side of the fence you're on. You know, I would hope everybody would try to be on the same side, but there's always everybody's going to have a different opinion. There's always going to, and that's what makes America great. What makes us great is the fact is that, you know what? We are all allowed, okay, by the freedom we are all allowed, okay, to make our own decision. We gather information from others. That's what we were created for. That's how we go through the process of learning from somebody who's done it. And you know what? Then they teach you. What's that saying? See one, teach one, do one. Or they see one, do one, teach one. So you teach people that are coming behind you. And you teach them to the best of your ability. And then you hope that, you know what, they're going to learn something on their own. And that's how the education process works. That's how education process works, because the fact is, you know what, you get both sides. You get to go to college, you get to learn from the college view. But you know what? Always remember what your grandpa and your daddy taught you. Because I don't really care who you are or what your status is. But at some point in your life, you're going to look back and you're going to remember. You're going to say, you know what? Yeah, daddy told me that. Or my grandpa told me that. Or mama told me that. Just because you didn't learn the lesson right now don't mean that they didn't tell you. But we all are particularly pretty hard-headed, and we want to do things our own way. Hell, when we were 18 years old, like me, I thought, you know what? I full gallon of gas in my pickup truck, 6-pack of beer, and I could go anywhere. I could do anything. I was indefeatable. But I learned pretty quick when I got out in the real world. That pretty truck I got, it don't run on fumes. You got to put gas in it every once in a while. God forbid it breaks down, then you got to pay some more money for that. So it's all relative to the fact is that, you know what, it's up to us. And I don't mean to get on a soapbox and preach. What I'm saying is that we are too busy right now fighting amongst each other. We got all kind of groups, okay? Liberals, conservatives, Black Lives Matter, KKK. We got white supremacists. We got all these groups together. We got them all together fighting against one another. For what? For a bigger piece of the pie? Why don't we do this? Why don't we take that effort, okay, that we are utilizing to fight against each other and fight it for real enemies, fight at the real enemies that are actually causing this stuff to happen? Why don't we get together and fight the real enemy and stop making one up back home? We've made mistakes as America, and we're not, this is not utopia. We're going to continue to make mistakes because we're human. But the key is forgiving somebody. That's the hardest lesson anybody has ever had to learn since the Bible. You got to be able to forgive somebody. And you got to be able to let them know that they learned something from it. You got to be having the opportunity to let them know, or they let you know what, I learned from that experience. Okay. Won't happen again. But they've got to come to that realization. You can't force your opinion on anybody. So why don't we concentrate on the news that is going on right now, okay, and get the word out to people and stop fighting amongst ourselves? Ladies and gentlemen, we got a bigger fight than you can possibly imagine with the Muslims coming in here. I call them the Hajj because I'm not politically correct, but I'm gonna call them the Hajj. We got a bigger fight that we're going to have with these guys than we were ever going to be in. World War II wasn't nothing. Vietnam wasn't nothing compared to this. It all breaks down to the fact that, you know what, they're going to invade and they're going to kill people on our soil. They're going to kill your kids. They're threatening to kill your kids. They're threatening to kill your grandbabies. They're threatening to kill every dad-burn Christian there is. Period. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you feel like, you know what, they won't happen to me and they're not going to do that to me because I'm a nice guy or a nice woman, you know, whatever. They don't care. Because killing you, okay, by killing you, beheading you, or some kind of atrocity, okay, that they do to you or blow people up, or how not dangerous, but how wicked it is, or how gruesome it is that we have to watch. There are 10 people they just recruited off of that because they make videos off of it and they recruit off of that. People say, well, you know what? It's the Muslims coming in. No, I'm not really worried about the Muslims coming in. I'm worried about the Muslims that are already here that are being converted. We can't keep track of them. I'm tired of people being on the watch list and we don't watch them. They can get on a plane and fly wherever they want to. They can go down and purchase a weapon. They can go ahead and they can have, per law, okay, and I know because I shoot black powder, okay, per law, I can only have in my house or on my property 50 pounds of gunpowder, black gunpowder. Now, y'all say, oh, well, terrorists, you don't make them. No, I don't. I shoot weapons of black powder. I am a history buff. But I have to go by the rule that, you know what? I have to ensure that I never have 50 pounds or more. And when I order it, it comes through the mail. But I have to pay a hazmat fee on top of that, which is another $20 to $30. So meanwhile, I'm paying the government for the opportunity to have this, but we can have we can have the Hodge go and store as many weapons as they want to in their house, and they're on the watch list. Explain to me, like I'm a 3-year-old, how that works out. If you're known to be anywhere around a terrorist type of activity back in your home country, okay, is it enough just to put you on a watch list? Because I want to get down to it. We don't have enough people to watch everybody. The marathon bombers were actually the proof of that, because the fact is that we knew they were on the watch list. The older brother had just went to Syria and stayed to be trained and came back over here, got food stamps, got welfare, got a break on his apartment through Section 8, and was utilizing that apartment to store powder and weapons. Now tell me how that's right. Didn't have to pay no hazmat fee, didn't have to pay nothing. All he had to do was just sneak in here and get it. So that's my rant for today. I'm see I lost all my dang following. Everybody not following me now. So I wanted to throw a shout out here to Texas News Radio. I'm probably gonna get out here and probably keep up with it and try to catch up so I can give you guys some more information that I gather because I'm paying attention. And so is Texas News Radio. They just went off the air, but they do that. It's not something that they're breaking down or crashes. They just do that to catch up because they've only had so many mods, and they can only work so many hours. And I tip my hat to them because they stay on for a long period of time. I wonder when I want to send them a sandwich, man. I know they get hungry or they get thirsty or something, but anyway, I want to say my shout outs to Christine, CC, and I want to say Miss Gina, Miss Susan, and I want to put a shout out to all of my friends that are on Texas News Studio. I don't know if they're my friends or I don't know, but I'd like to know that they are. But at least I know I can have an honest conversation with them, and they'll tell me the truth. And then they get me in trouble when I'm not doing something or I say something I'm not supposed to say. So there's a lot of people that come into the room and they have stuff to say, and I think it's worth listening to because the fact is, in this particular chat room and this particular site, I have found a place where you can actually go in and actually contribute to a chat, and you can actually learn something and do some research and get information from some good, solid people. So I challenge you, and I really do suggest that just check it out. Going in there, be careful though. They don't put up with no cussing or nothing. And if you're a troll, stay the heck away. Stay the heck away. We don't need to, Mary Sunshine. I'm say hello to her. I haven't mentioned her all day, but I really do appreciate her too. So I'm giving shouts out to people, not because I just want them to follow my station, but because the fact is that they're good, honest people, and I utilize their information for me to be well informed, and that's what it's all about. It is about being well informed, so enough you can have a conversation in the real world. You can actually keep up on current events so you actually know what's going on. And with this information, what you can use it for is the fact that you're able to make your own decision and make a critical decision. And that's what it's all about for everybody. You want to have enough information to where you can actually make your own decisions and not worry about what everybody else says, and not worry about how you should think and what the group says you should say, but actually have the ability to make up your own mind. And that's a disappearing art. I don't think they teach that in college. But then again, I don't know. See, I went to the University of Afghanistan where I majored in not getting blown up and minored in shooting at people, never shooting at me. That's part of my education. From that military background, I learned how to do a lot of things because I learned how to, just for myself, I learned how to act as a human being. I had, the way I carried myself and the way I represented the United States of America. And one way I was an ambassador. Because people that I went to in other countries, they look at me and they're saying, you know what? That's what America's about. That's what Americans like. And I have no problem doing that today. I have no problem presenting myself that way. You'll be surprised because the fact is that I have long come to uh, realization that I am a combat veteran. I do suffer from PTSD, and I am disabled in that manner. So it is very difficult for me to come back home after seeing all that and fit into a regular society or fit in with civilians, because the fact is that they don't know what I've been through, and there's no way that I can explain it to them. And I don't, because you know what, you just haven't been there, and you haven't earned the right. So I'm not going to tell civilians how to act. I don't have any authority to tell people how to act or how to behave. I mean, people get mad. I mean, some of the vets get mad because they don't know. A lot of civilians don't know the difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day. I mean, if you don't know, Memorial Day is in memory of the people who are dead, and then Veterans Day is to celebrate all veterans. Just a little tip for you. But I wouldn't be mad at you if you did. I mean, you have your own freedom. You are not required as American citizens to know everything that I know, and you're not required to know everything about where I've been. And frankly, a lot of people that are out there today, they forget about individuals like me when they're deployed or whatever. A lot of individuals don't even know we're deployed today. But I do reach out to the individuals that are listening, or I try it all the time, is that I want you to remember at least once before you lay your head down tonight that you're in a warm bed. You probably got something good to eat, or got a chance to watch a movie. You got plenty of water. Take a bath. Take a shower. You can do all those things. And that's reasons why we fight. So you have the ability to do those things. Because we realize the fact is that we want to do that so some people can. You realize the world's gonna pass us by, and then when we get back home, we're not really gonna be needed in private life. We know that weapon that we use and we were coming around 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that we never lose track of, we have given it a name, that 9mm in your weapon. That's probably the only threesome we're ever gonna see. But we do those things because the fact is that we know that without somebody doing that, would the American people stand up first? Would you defend the country? Would you be able to defend the country? But would you be willing to defend the country? But we have a group of people that are, so you don't have to. So my point being is that, you know what, when you lay your pretty head down there, think about that guy that's laying in a fighting hole. Can't sleep because mortars are going off, because it's crackling in the radio. He probably only sleeps 2-3 hours a night. He wakes up, all his covers is froze to him. Drinking a hot cup of coffee, you'd pay $20 for a hot cup of coffee. See it happen. Arsenal from Copenhagen or cigarettes. So it's a whole different world that individuals don't get to see. They call it our sacrifice. We call it duty. We gladly took that oath, and we gladly stand by to get still today. To defend against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And what we have to realize is that, you know what, we fought for these rights, and we have to be the first ones to stand up for them and actually do them and participate in the program and participate in America and be the first ones to yell and scream when we see a problem with our security. Why would we want to come out and warn people and stay on people because we want to create fear? No, that's not the reason. What we want to do is we want to come out and let people know to be prepared that it's coming. I can't tell you when, but it's getting close, but it's coming. Sooner or later, you're going to have to deal personally. You're going to have to deal with the Hodge who doesn't like you. Period, because of what you believe in or what you don't believe in. That's it. It's not because something you did to piss them off or, you know, or no, it's not. It's not. It's too easy. It's black and white. They're going to kill you because you're a Christian. Now, how many people are going to lose religion over that? Well, no, I'm not a Christian. Well, guess what? You're going to be a Muslim, or you know what? You're an atheist, which is worse. So be careful what you're asking for, people. Be careful that if you don't know something about it, maybe you can do some research like my friends over at Texas News Studios do. They go in, they do some research, and they find out what the actual threat is. And then they're big enough to come in and ask the question, I don't understand this. Please explain it to me. What do they mean by this? I ain't too proud to ask a question and learn something new. I ain't. I learn something every day. It's one reason why I use social media, because the fact is, you know what? I learned something from somebody else that's from another different part of the country. Kind of puts a different way I look at things. So I'm not here to gain followers. I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to for popularity. I'm not here for those things. What I'm here for is the fact is that we need, and this is my way of getting the word out to as many people as I can to be prepared. Like I said, it's coming. I would much rather somebody know and prepare for it when it gets here than somebody who refuses to deal with the reality and then blame others because the fact is they got hurt because they wouldn't pay attention. People have been telling them, and they, you know what they did? No, I ain't paying attention. That ain't going to happen here. The worst thing I can ever hear. It ain't going to happen here. Tell that to the police department in Waterford, Massachusetts. That were in the line were between Boston and New York. Remember that firefight went on down there? Yeah, and it was just a town of maybe 2,000. Got hooked up in a real firefight. So please share this, or please, if nobody's listening, just please listen to this and actually think. One day, I'm just asking for one day to actually think about what you do in the course of an evening to prepare for bed. There's somebody out there who's American and that is fighting for your ass or representing you in a fight. Look at it from their perspective. And then look at it from this perspective. Think about this too. They do it voluntarily. Draft ain't here no more. And ladies, I hate to be the one to mention, because in this year, okay, next year, you're going to have to register for the draft. See what feminism got you. But I don't know about you, but anyway, if I have served with a bunch of female Marines. I've served with female soldiers, with Navy. Every branch of service I've served with them. And they're a different breed. And they're respected because the fact is they're good at what they do. Whatever job they do, they don't need to be on the front lines. But then again, there's the point here. The fact is, you know what? There's no way. We deal in a 360-degree battlefield. So it doesn't matter if you're a female, male, or what your MOS is or whatever. If you step foot in Afghanistan, or in Iraq, you are a target. Period. Especially if you got that uniform on and it's got a flag on it. Now, we all know the general consensus about the Muslim community on women. So, in other words, they get more credit, okay? Or they're more of a hero in the Muslim world if they kill a female soldier or Marine or a female. They're in the armed forces. You're a target. You're a bigger target than that guy that's sitting right beside you because they killed an infidel woman. Which in their minds, it's like they'll teach them a lesson to fight against us again. Okay, well, you know what? I don't know about you, but I still have an issue of being a man. And everybody tells me I'm an alpha male or whatever, and I still open doors. I still say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I still pull a chair out for a lady. I still pay for the bill when I take her out. I still have those, what are they called, near whatever, the caveman mentality, I guess what it is nowadays. But I still do that. And I'll be honest with you, the frontline Marine and frontline soldier, you know, it's just born in us, and it's born in any male. Is the fact is, you know what? You will do anything necessary to keep that female from getting hurt. As men, we are unable to accept the fact that we're unable to accept the fact that you're not a female, even though you're doing a job as well as us or whatever. When it comes push comes to shove, the fact of the matter is that men will go to an extent to protect a female. Now, does that put them more in danger? Maybe. I've seen it firsthand, and a lot of times it does. Men will risk and make decisions differently when there's a female involved. Because the fact that there's one thing to see your buddy get taken out on a medevac, or one thing to see your buddy get killed, but it's another thing to see a woman that you know get hurt or killed, because you automatically, as a man, you think I didn't do enough to protect her. That's the old boy. That's where I come from. They want to fight. They want to fight good. They want to pick a fight good, because the fact of the matter is, I'll be standing up right there. I don't want to fight you, but I will. And I ain't scared to bleed. But in my mind, you know what? There's some things you don't do, and you don't mess with women. You don't mess with kids, and you damn sure don't mess with my family. Those things are what I fight for. I don't want to have a woman worried about going to the mall and have to get blown up. I don't want to worry about my wife traveling down the road and being raped or being attacked by a Muslim. I don't want that. I shouldn't have to have that in America. Should be no option. But the bottom line is, I am trying to get the message out, and I'll see a video. I am trying to get the message out for, please, people, wake up. Look at your surroundings. And please be the first one to hit me up. Okay. Okay. And say, no, I don't see a trend here. People are smarter than that. Be the first one to be the first one to say, well, I didn't know Ramadan was going to be that bad. Well, why not? They told you what they were going to do. It's kind of like somebody said they're going to come over and burn your house. And you know what? You sit there right there. Next thing you know, oh, so he's going to burn my house. Right, he did. He burned my house. Use our common sense for something else besides talking a cute text. Use our common sense to actually think about issues that actually will affect you and other people that are Americans just like you. Start thinking about what you can do to alleviate the threat. Maybe small, maybe not nothing you think at all. But it's something. And you don't know. That's something you might do. It may teach somebody a lesson. And guess what? You may save a life and not even know it. That's what it's all about, people. It's creating relationships. It's actually respecting people. And it's about having some honor in who you are and where you come from. And you know what? Even though we've made mistakes, serious mistakes in the past, is we don't relive them and we don't make them again. We can argue about the past for the rest of our lives, but it ain't gonna change it. We can argue about, who's right, who's wrong, black, white, yellow, green, purple, aliens, whatever. We can argue that too, but it still ain't gonna fix the situation. It's been a conversation in history for years. We're not the first ones to come up with this with slavery or whatever. And there's different people who own slaves, but people don't want to admit that. But and they don't understand the facts too, because the fact is, one of the major things I've got is that I'm from the South, and we have monuments to people who fought for the South, Robert E. Lee, Stonewall Jackson, Pickett, all these individuals. Now, I don't necessarily believe everything they stood for, but I certainly have enough common sense to know that, when I place it together, that this war was not just about slavery. And if it was just about slavery, why did the Emancipation Proclamation get signed 3 years after the war started? Something must have pissed somebody off before then. It might have been a part of it, yeah. I mean, it probably was a big part of it. But why was the emancipation in Lincoln's word? Because who was known to be semi-racist and didn't want to mix black with white? What was the motivation behind that? Well, let's see. The Emancipation Proclamation allowed slaves to be free. So that meant that as a free individual, a black individual just getting his citizenship of strong will and body, guess what? He's the first one to be drafted. That's why we had colored units after the Emancipation Proclamation. So who was a slave owner and who wasn't a slave owner? I don't know, but I'm sure y'all have answers, whatever, but I'm just telling you the facts. And if I'm wrong, tell me where I'm wrong. And I'll study it. Anything you guys tell me I'm wrong on, trust, I'll admit I'm the first one wrong, but I will research it. I'll be the first one to tell you, hey, you know what, you were right, I was wrong. We got an ongoing situation in Manila. It's no longer trending on YouTube. It only took 2 hours and 30 minutes for it to not trend anymore on Twitter. So I guess Manila don't matter no more. I guess that we've said our prayer, we've changed our flag. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to forget about it. But I'm not. It's just another piece of the puzzle for me to put together to say, you know what, something's headed this way and it ain't good. How many of y'all remember 9/11? How many knew what you're doing on 9/11? San Bernardino, Pulse, Boston. You want me to go on? Well, I, for one, am going to continue to make these broadcasts with the hope and the prayer that someone will pass along the lines of something that I've shared today. And it also causes somebody to think negatively or think positively about me. That's okay, and that's your right. I don't get my feelings hurt very good. Hell, I'd survived Marine Corps boot camp, and I'm telling you, there ain't nothing you can call me that I ain't been called before. So I have a pretty thick skin. But I want to start the conversation. Maybe if it's on one or two of us, I want to start the conversation to where we actually have an actual, honest, straight conversation. Some call that a debate. Remember that? The debate team? Well, that's what our country was founded upon. Debates. Hell, those damn debates got so ugly sometimes they're in there fighting. But stand up for what you believe in. Yesterday it was Kabul. Tomorrow's Manila. Where's it going to be next? You know it's coming. Just can't tell you when and where, huh? And that's the world we live in today. And the mere thought that it's not going to happen here. It's not going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to my loved ones. It's not going to happen to anybody I care about. Well, I don't know, but I see the odds, and I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't take those odds. But hey, do what you want. Thank you for your time. Thank you for those who tuned in. I think there's probably only 4 or 5 listeners, but I appreciate it, and I do. I'm going to continue putting on these videos, whether you like them or not. You know, um, but I'm going to actually try to rise, stir, and people start thinking about the issues at hand, and not spend all your time on mainstream media because you're not getting the real deal. My name is Steve. Some people call me Wolfpack. That was my call sign. I'll be here. I'm gonna go ahead and get out because the fact is, I know you guys probably don't want to listen to me anyway. So you want me talking all the time. And one thing about it, I can't talk. I'm gonna get out of here. I wish you guys the rest of a good evening. I hope that we have some good news coming out of Manila. I hope that the death toll is low. I really hope that the amount of injured is low. Um, do I pray for them? Yeah, I'm gonna pray for them, and I ain't gonna change my sign on my Abby. No, and I'm not gonna forget about it. So you can squash that right now. But hope you guys have a good evening. Like I always say, and I always end, keep your powder dry, keep mama happy, keep food and water on them dogs. They'll be good to you. So will mom. That's all you need. I'm out here. Oh, I'm still here. Hey, hell, I didn't do that. I didn't know that. Hell, I got one viewer. Hello, man. I'm getting out really. This time I'm really getting out. Sorry, but I'm getting out.